do this Thursday morning. So now we're here visiting with the folks from Silencer Co. So this is Dewey from Silencer Co. So these guys were actually out there. We spent like close to 2 hours shooting with these guys on range day for Trigger Con. So we're going to actually go through and talk about some of the cans that these guys have to offer. I know there's a couple of them here that we saw that unfortunately we weren't able to shoot because of the range that we were on. And yeah, my heart was broken. So tell us a little bit about this guy right here. Okay. This is one of them that we were not able to plink through. So
this is the original Maxim 9. So we introduced this about mid-year 2017. The nice thing about this is the world's first production integrally suppressed 9mm pistol. This is a modular pistol too, so this is the full-length configuration. You can shorten it essentially by removing these two hex screws here, and your baffle stack is removable. So you have two baffles here that are removable. You can shorten this down. This is rated for anything from +B+ all the way down to 147 grain subsonic rounds. This operates using a roller delay blowback type design. It does have a fixed 3.9-inch barrel and the ability to run an RMR. This is also compatible with Glock mags as well. So Glock 17 magazines, Glock aftermarket sights make this a pretty usable pistol. You do have the ability to swap out your magazine release and slide release as well. This has been a pretty popular pistol and our first entry into the pistol market. So, and it's also very unique, being the way it looks. Now, its newer brother here is the non-NFA Maxim 9.
Absolutely.
So the non-NFA Maxim 9 has been a really pleasant surprise for us. Operates using the same roller delay blowback, which is interesting because we've tested this with a variety of different centerfire pistol suppressors, and we found that this is actually the quietest suppressor host for a pistol we've ever tested.
Oh wow.
It still has a lot of the great features of the original Maxim 9, like a fixed 3.9-inch barrel, the ability to slave an RMR to that. What's really nice is because this is a fixed barrel, you no longer have to worry about using a piston or a booster to attach a centerfire suppressor. This particular guy here, this is an Omega 9K. We've got a direct thread mount there. You can use any centerfire pistol suppressor and just direct thread it on, or you can use a 3-lug mount in order to be able to attach any centerfire pistol can to this particular gun. We did re-engineer the trigger, so this is a significantly improved trigger over the original Maxim 9. You'll find that the take-up is awesome on this guy. It's going to have a nice clean break and a wonderful reset. People have been blowing their minds over this trigger. I mean, they're very pleasantly surprised. You can go ahead and give that a run.
oh wow, that's
a typical reaction. Yeah.
That's crazy. One more time. I mean, just so you can see the squeeze, how much. That's it. Boom. Done. That is actually...
The reset's nice too.
There's not a whole lot of what they call squish to it.
Right.
It's crisp. It's there. Once you actually hit that set, it strikes it down, and that's all she wrote.
It's sweet.
That's
sweet.
cool.
Very happy about that. This still breaks down very, very easily too. So obviously you can remove the suppressor, and in order to field strip it, it really doesn't get any easier than this. You essentially have a D10 here. You push that in, lift that lever, tilt that slide back and up, and that's it. That's your field strip.
That almost looks like a freaking 50 cal block that you're taking.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel the weight of the slide too, you can see the gun is really balanced pretty nicely.
Yeah, I mean, just the weight differential between the two.
Yep.
I mean, it's no wonder why it holds so well.
Yeah.
I mean, you sit there when it's apart like this, you're like, oh, Jesus, it's so off. But the second you put it all together, I mean, that's it. That's all she wrote. I mean, it's a nicely balanced piece of equipment there.
She really, this guy, I'm really excited about this guy, and I'm looking forward to being able to get this in shooters' hands, because I think they're really going to enjoy this.
Hell yeah. Now tell us about some of the cans that we got here, some of your latest and greatest toys. Like this guy here, I know this one was on the 300 Blackout lookout that we actually got a bit of footage shooting the other day. So tell us a little bit about this guy here.
So this is the Omega 300, and this has been actually, this is the best-selling suppressor in history. To date, we've got close to 200,000 of these guys out in the hands of individuals, military, law enforcement as well. The Omega 300 is fantastic because it's rated for anything from 223, 556 up to 300 Win Mag. It's very light.
Don't tell me that.
You can run anything through this guy, really.
Yes.
That would be expensive training too. I saw civilians practicing that. That's got to be an expensive class.
They don't listen, You can launch them. So the weird thing is, up to 300 Win Mag basically is what your caliber rating is. It does have a full auto rating. This guy's fantastic because it comes with pretty much everything a customer's ever going to need to run it on a couple different guns. It'll come with a QD mount, the ASR QD mount. It comes with a direct thread mount, and it'll also come with your 30 cal muzzle device as well, which engages with your QD mount. Later on down the road, if you want to run it on a carbine or an SBR, you have the ability to pull this anchor brake off. And this anchor brake is functional, so it does help disperse your muzzle report evenly across the plane. You pull that anchor brake off, and then you could thread on front cap with a 30 cal diameter bore or 556 diameter bore. You run that 556 front cap and you're actually going to quiet this can down for a 556 round in addition to 3 or 4 decibels. So it's pretty significant.
Yeah.
And you can already see it's a pretty light can as well.
Oh, absolutely it is.
So, 16 ounces total weight. You're talking about a Stellite blast baffle, and you've got an Inconel port. And titanium tube makes this awesome little package right there. It's also available in a bunch of different colors too. So that's the FDE. You can do black, you can do sniper gray, and a raw finish as well.
So aside from this guy, there was another one that we checked out. We'll get to that one here in a second, John. One that blew my mind on Friday, or not Friday, but Wednesday, was the one you guys had hooked up on that 22. That thing just, it was funny because with the video that we got off my cell phone from it, I took it home and I showed it to my folks. I showed my dad the video, and he just about lost his mind. He's like, "Did that thing even fire?" He's like, "I just heard a click." I was like, "That's all we heard too."
That was your
what
trigger.
You heard was what we heard.
Right.
So which one is that?
That's the
this one
switchback right here, and here I'm fiddling around with it. So the switchback we introduced in September of 2018, really launched it in January at SHOT Show 2019. So essentially what you're looking at is a rimfire suppressor rated for 22 long rifle, 22 Magnum, 17 HMR, 17 Wisdom, and FN57. So you got 5 calibers. The other nice thing is you got 4 configurations with this guy, so it's really easy to remember. The Switchback 22 does have a full auto rating for all those guys too. This is the full length configuration, so you can run this on a pistol, you can run this on a long gun like that. If you want to optimize it for a rifle, essentially what you're doing is you're going to take the main baffle stack and the longer portion of the can, and you're just going to rotate it. You're going to flip that stack, rotate it this way, put that front cap back on, and in this particular configuration on a rifle, we have hit decibel reductions down to 108, and in a lot of cases a lot lower than that. So we've gone with 108 decibels for standard CCI, which is traveling at supersonic speeds.
Right.
But at 108 decibels, that's pretty quiet. That's one configuration right there. You also have the ability to run a mid-length configuration as well. So you take that coupler off, take your back cap, which happens to be the serialized portion of the suppressor, and here's your mid-length.
There it is.
You can run that on a pistol or long gun.
Nice.
And then it's even cooler than that. This is actually my favorite. is you'll take your back cap and front cap, and you can run it as a pill bottle too. So that little guy right there.
That is crazy.
It's insane.
So 4 different configurations, 5 different calibers. Look at that little guy right there. That's kind of neat.
It's so tiny.
That's pretty neat.
That is pretty neat.
Run any one of those 5 calibers through that guy and you're good to go.
That is awesome.
Yep.
Now there was one other one I wanted to talk about before we got to the grand finale, and this one I actually saw on your guys' 4570 that you had out there.
Yes.
And that one, I fell in love with that. I truly did, because the 4570, that caliber holds a place that's near and dear to my heart as a big game hunter.
Right.
So when I got the chance to shoot that lever action with the 4570 with the can, I was in 7th heaven with that thing. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what this guy is right here?
You're referring to our hybrid. So the hybrid suppressor is we actually technically classify this as a pistol suppressor. It'll ship with a piston compartment here, so you can run a piston on this guy and then put it on any 10mm, 45 ACP, even a 9mm pistol. But the nice thing is it also ships with a direct thread mount, like this guy here. So if you wanted to, you can run this on that 4570. You can actually run this on a 458 SOCOM, 338 Lapua, 300 Win Mag, all the way down to 223, 556. It's rated for all those calibers and everything in between. So it's really a do-all can. Gives the shooter the ability to run a variety of different calibers, run a variety of different platforms with a variety of different accessories. So you can see that's got a QD mount on it right now. That's QD mount. Yep. It's compatible with our anchor brake, or I'm sorry, our muzzle brakes and our flash hiders, and it is compatible with direct thread mounts. And then the other nice thing is kind of like its cousin, the Omega 300. That's got a 460 board front cap. Now you could swap that front cap out for a 30 cal front cap or a 5.56 front cap, and again, you're getting additional, decibel reductions just by closing that can up a little bit, for those more specific calibers. So that's been our one of our best sellers since we introduced that in, I want to say, 2017 or so.
Oh wow.
So, yep.
So what are you looking at as far as affordability for one of these? Like, let's say someone spends the money, gets their tax stamp.
Sure.
What are you looking at as far as affordability of these?
So on the very bottom end, you're looking at the Sparrow, which is a rimfire can, 22 long rifle, Magnums, 17 HMR Wisdom, and FN57. 450 MSRP for one of these guys. On the top end, really the Omega 300, MSRP 1130. Generally, street price is always going to be a little bit less than 1130, so I wouldn't count on finding it for exactly MSRP. So, you could pretty much look at our entire product selection as falling in somewhere at or below about $1,000.
Nice. That's actually awesomely affordable. Because you take a look at a lot of other manufacturers who sell for double, triple that price.
Yeah.
Especially when you get into the big box gun stores and stuff like that. It's hard to find a good can for anything less than 25.
It is.
So for something like this, and what we saw here on Wednesday at Range Days, it's a testament to the quality of product that you guys are putting out and the affordability rate. If you guys don't hit these guys up if you're in the market for getting a can for whatever you shoot, hit these guys up, because I'm telling you, what you're paying for miles above what the actual cost is. I'm telling you, hit up Silencer Co. Pay them a visit. If you're in the market to get your stamp and get a can for your firearm, hit these guys up. I can't stress it enough. Like I said, we spent 2 hours on the range with these guys shooting, and with what they have, I'm telling you, hit them up. There's one other I wanted to check out, and this was a big boy on the 12 gauge that we did not get to shoot. This one, aside from the 9, that one killed me. Oh yeah, the Omega 300 versus this guy. Give you an idea of how big this can is. It's nuts. So tell us about this monstrosity.
So this is the Salvo 12. So the Salvo 12 is rated for 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch shells to 3-inch shells, any load, so long as it's wadded, you can run it. This guy is actually modular, so this is the full 12-inch configuration, but if you wanted to run this in a 10 or 8 or 6-inch configuration, you can do that all day long. It's very easy to break down. There's actually 2 hex screws here that run the full length of the suppressor. Tie the whole thing together. You can remove these baffles in 2-inch increments. This has been a huge hit for guys who love to duck hunt, who love to go out and even turkey hunt. Essentially, they find themselves not hunting without it because it makes a big difference, especially if you're in a blind and you're shooting with a dog. You don't want to blow its ears out, and you don't want to blow your hunting buddy's ears out either.
Right.
So you have the ability to run the salvo. You can run this on pretty much any shotgun as long as it's choked.
That thing is super light too for as big as it is. That is extremely light. What do you say the weight is on this?
34.5 ounces.
That's nothing.
Yep, 34.5 ounces. And when you shorten it, you're actually shortening it and actually lightening it at the same time. So every 2-inch increment, you're basically going to cut that weight down by about 2.5 ounces.
Oh, so yeah, you're taking about 2.5, 3 ounces off it.
Yep.
That makes a difference, especially when you're holding up like a heavy, Remington 870 or a Mossberg, or even those the bulkier Benellis.
Right.
So so for something like this, for sportsmen, if you're a fowl hunter, yeah,
that's it.
Recommend this. This is the magic piece right here.
Excuse me. We've got choke adapters available for pretty much every shotgun on the market. So whether it's a Benelli, Beretta, Remington, Mossberg, Browning,
Utah's 15.
You know what? We do actually have a choke adapter that's compatible.
Oh
yes.
man!
Even KSGs and Segas. So this happens to be for a Mossberg. They operate pretty simply. So that'll replace your factory choke. Just threads right into the barrel. That lock ring right there locks into the suppressor. So even if you don't want to use a salvo, you lock that lock ring back and then you just keep it on the gun. Once you're ready to run the salvo, that lock ring turns counterclockwise, right onto the can, locks it into place, and you're all set.
And
that's all you got to do. Yep.
That's awesome.
So full, improved, modified, you name it, we've got a choke adapter for it.
How can people find your guys' business? You guys have, what's your guys' website?
www.silencerco.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. A lot of cool stuff on Instagram, actually. A lot of good pictures.
Nice.
Yep.
So we'll do it. Thank you again.